Okay, hello everybody. Hi Jenny, I see that you're popped into my chat real quick. I don't know if you're still here. Hello everyone. You guys, Jenny just uploaded a video. Don't go watch it now, but after you're done with my live, go check out Jenny's latest video. Yeah, maybe we'll all watch it together after this chat, and thanks for popping in. I am going to jump ahead to Carlos's question because I see he made a donation. I see you guys have been pretty active before I hopped on. So let's get to Carlos's question, and thank you for the donation. He says, I finally was able to certify today for 3 weeks, but for $350 a week, and now they changed it to $167 a week. Why is that? Do I need to call? So that's going to depend on if you were on a PUA claim to begin with, or if you were on a regular unemployment claim to begin with. What that sounds like to me is that you are on a regular unemployment claim and that you didn't qualify for the Fed Ed extension or a new claim. So it sounds like they've put you onto a PUA claim, and that's the base amount for a PUA claim. So they should be able to adjust your benefit amount to a higher rate, but they are going to ask you for income documentation. And that's the other scenario, is that you do have a PUA claim, but maybe you haven't provided your income documents to them yet. And if you are getting a higher amount under PUA and you haven't supplied the proper income verification documents, that could be a reason why you're being bumped down to $167 as well. Okay, now I'm going to try and scroll back up, try and get to as many of these earlier questions as I can. I don't know if some of you guys are still in here. I may try and do these regularly until the EDD issues get themselves sorted out, because welcome to so many of my new subscribers, but it gets a little bit challenging to try and give everyone's question the attention that it needs. And for me, it's easier to do it in the lives. Okay. I asked Diesel if he had a specific question. I didn't see a response from him. He wants to know if these are mainly for California. And that's where most of my viewers are from. So they do skew towards issues that we're having with the California EDD, but I'm happy to look into whatever issues anyone's having. I just may not know those answers as easily as I know what's going on here in California. Behind the Monitor says still no funds. And now the EDD is starting to tell people that they're not going to have the claim balances increased. I'm hearing different things. I'm hearing between 7 and 10 days, and I'm hearing a hard date of January 31st, which would be this Sunday, and then I'm hearing a hard date of February 3rd. And I think that's just because that's when the 7 and 10 day time marks would actually be. And I'm hesitant these days because the EDD has given us concrete dates, and then they haven't honored those concrete dates. And I don't know how long realistically they expect us to continue waiting. So that's kind of where I'm at with all of this. But then Gone says that theirs are fixed. Mike says, I got through. They just said, wait a couple of days on Max, a paid to clear, things are getting loaded. And because again, really seeing the max benefits paid message, that's a normal thing. When your first 26 weeks of unemployment benefits are used up, you get that message, in 2020 before you got the 13 weeks of the PEUC extension added to your claim. If you're just now going through those 13 weeks, it's going to, again, your claim balance will go to 0. Then you're going to get the maximum benefits paid message. Then they're going to load up your claim with additional weeks. Usually that happens before the next time you can certify. This time it didn't. But even for people that are getting through, that's in a lot of the case. Even when they get a rep that says they did something to the claim, they're still telling people, oh, but wait 7 to 10 days for it to be updated. And I tend to think the EDD updates things in batches. So I do personally think that it's going to fall off on its own over the next couple of days. But calling might expedite it if you have the patience to deal with trying to get through to the EDD. Okay, Joel says, Joel also says, got to a tier 2 rep that totally didn't know what she was doing. She sent an email to her supervisor and said to me, her boss will file for me a new 11 weeks, still maximum benefits paid. So yeah, that actually is what even the 2-tier reps are saying. I don't know if I updated you guys this on yesterday's live stream, but my employee was calling. He saw that message on his claim. He waited, I want to say it was like, oh no, the live stream was way done by the time he got on. He waited like a total of 5 hours between when he started calling, getting through. And even when he spoke to the tier 2 rep, that's when they told him that it wasn't going to update for 7 to 10 more days. So I asked him, I said, do you really think she did anything? And he said, I would like to think so. But a lot of times they're just telling people either to wait, that it'll update on its own, or when you get through, they're still telling you to wait 7 to 10 business days. Elazar says, hi, Shelly, my benefit year is from 7/26 to 7/24/2021, but only from 7/26 to 12/26, almost a month that I haven't seen any emails from the EDD to certify. Do I know what's going on? I don't know what's going on, but if you haven't received anything from them in that long, it's definitely time to call them. Andrew, I know you're having trouble with your claim. And again, I think we just kind of addressed, it's even when you talk to them and they say that they're doing an update to your claim, they should have told you as well. Of course, getting them to say consistent answers is a challenge, but they should have told you what a lot of the reps are saying, which is it's still going to take 7 to 10 days to see a change on your account. Okay. Mishi says, I finally got a letter in the mail clearing up why I've been pinning for the past month and 2 weeks. I just need to extend the identity date since my ID was expired. Went to the DMV last week. Okay, so that's good that hopefully you're going to be seeing some movement on your claim soon. Jillian is Vanessa's friend. I don't personally know Vanessa, but she's so nice when she's in the chat. So tell her hello. And Jillian's saying that she has had luck and she's hearing that people are having their claims cleared up when they have the maximum benefits paid message and they get the right rep. That issue seems to be about 50-50 what people are being told, but even the people that are getting through to the tier 2 reps and they're being told that something was done to make it happen sooner, I'm still, for the most part, hearing that they're telling them it's still going to be another 7 to 10 days. Okay. I know most people haven't gotten paid in a long time. Oh, Vanessa's in here too. Yep, with maximum benefits paid. And they told her to wait, but her friend said that they've been helping. It's totally mixed on that. That really should clear up on its own. And I wish I had some concrete evidence of my claim said that, but it didn't say that this week. It said it on the 10th, and it didn't clear up on Sunday. It didn't clear up until it waited until like Monday to go away, but it did go away on its own. And I'm on the second PEUC. So I wish we could get some consistency. Okay, Magusna says, hi, Shelly. I was one of the peeps that was on the first phase, never got the extended 11 weeks added. Spoke to the specialist today that said that I had to reopen again because some people will update. I'm not quite sure that some people will update automatically and some won't. So if you went through the first phase, are you on Fed Ed now? Because people on Fed Ed are more than likely going to reach the end of their benefit year. And if you reach the end of your benefit year, it's not the reopen claim, it's that you're going to have to totally reapply for a new claim. So that's my understanding of that. Val check. Oh, so Andrew has Andrew Bibe, I'm probably not saying your last name right, has a YouTube channel. And I didn't know that. So I'm going to check that out too. And she checked it out and said he's funny. So I'm going to check it out to support another YouTuber. Okay. Magusta says I was able to certify for 4 weeks, but got paid for 1 week only. And then got the maximum benefits paid, 0 claim balance. They told me to wait a couple of days. It should change. And that's my gut level feeling. But I've become like really distrustful over the EDD through this whole process. And that's sad. Okay. SK says, I had the max issue. It took me 4 hours today to clear that up. 2 reps called and they added your extension. It took me 7 tries calling, and they were put on hold. I'm really curious though, SK, have you actually been able to certify, or are you on that same like 7-day waiting period? LA Barbie, thank you so much for the donation. You donated a lot on Sunday. Stop it. I appreciate it. But let's see. Oh, this is for the chat people who certified on Sunday and still says pending on Monday. What does that mean? And how long does it take until it says paid? That is a good question. Usually they say it can take up to 72 hours. If your claim says pending for any longer than 72 hours, it could mean that there's another issue. And the issues are varied. And so you're going to most likely need to call. If it's still pending today, somewhat normal, especially because they did those updates. I don't know why, but whenever they do an update, it seems like things stay pending longer. I am going to share with you guys, I certified last night. I did it after the live. I did it at like 3:30. I already switched from pending to paid. It's already on the EDD debit card and in the process of going to my bank. So some people had it switched right away, but it's somewhat common for it to take a little bit longer. They are working on a lot of updates and kind of becoming a little bit more strict. And so that's why we're starting to see pending crop up a little bit more. But I would say that if it doesn't clear within 72 hours, that's when it's time to call and where it's no longer like within the realm of normal. Okay. Andy's saying that they want us to work now. So that's one of the things, guys. I haven't even seen the title of Jenny's video. I just saw that it popped up, but I wouldn't be, we're on the same page because we're looking at the same issues. We know the problems that you guys are having. So that's why a lot of times you'll see a video on the same topic from both of us. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if hers is going to address this today. And I'm working on one that I'll either get up tonight or tomorrow. They actually are starting to flag accounts if you answer no to question 3, which is, did you look for work? Now, the work search requirement is still supposed to be waived right now, but answering no to that question seems to flag it. So what a lot of people do is they answer yes to that question. And then when it gets to the spot where you have to list where you look for work, they just hit skip. I'm too nervous that something will happen to my claim. So I always just look for 3 jobs. I make a habit of doing it every Saturday. What if I find my dream job? I just look online. Most of the time it's no response from employer. And you move on. So if you answer no to did you look for work, that can cause your claim to be pending, and that may be an issue. Okay, Fatima says, sad day, should have gotten an extension already, seeing max benefits paid, 0 claim balance within my benefit year, and in regular unemployment, should be in phase 1 or 2. It depends. So they're updating people's claims in different phases. Phase 1 is for people who still had a claim balance after December 26th. Phase 2, which they haven't said when they're going to start getting around to those updates, is for people who hit a $0 balance on a PUA or PEUC extension before December 26th. That shouldn't be too many of you. The only reason that you should have hit 0 before that is if you're somebody that backdated all the way back to when PUA was first available, which was 2/2/2020. If that's when your claim started on PUA, that's when you would have hit a $0 claim balance early. And PEUC, depending on how early you hit the what's the word? They would have already tried to enroll you in Fed Ed, is what I'm trying to say. So hopefully that's not too many people. And Fatima, hopefully that should clear up on its own. You can call the reps and they say they're moving it along, but it might still take 7 to 10 days. I hope that answered your question. Santa Monica Rodriguez said I certified and it still says pending. So we just did that one. Fatima's wondering why she hasn't gotten the extension yet. It could just, it's taking a little bit longer. It seems like, I think a lot of us, this is when we first started all getting benefits, really. This is like right when all those influx of claims happened. So I think it's just a lot of claims to process as well. It did both. Really nice. I was surprised. Bree says, waited an hour on hold for them to tell me the specialist queue is full. I'm sick of them. I have a pending claim issue and I have to wait for an interview with a claim specialist. I'm so sorry about that. It's really frustrating to get through right now. And I think this is what's most frustrating to me. A little communication from the EDD, like their reps have to be ready to like pull their hair out too. Like they can't, I'm sure it's just one call after another nonstop. I'm sure it always has been, but like, it's hard all the way around. And if they would just give us some clear communication and then honor that and follow through with it, like it would make it easier on everybody. Okay. Drake Boy says, is it only having California having this PEUX trouble with EDD? No, guys, if it makes you feel any better, everything that I've seen from pretty much every other state is having just as much trouble with all of this as we are. There's even states that haven't even started giving anybody the extra 300. We're actually, I know this is going to be hard to believe, we're actually in a lot better shape than some of the other states. Some of the other states are saying like the end of February, they're going to be ready to roll out these programs. So as much as we're hurting, other states are even worse off than we are. Magusna says that theirs had attitude. I got one with attitude too, you guys. I made that video about how I got hung up on. I was not pleased. I wanted to have a lot of questions answered. SK says I was on UI ending in December and they added me to PEUC. So your claim benefit, they must have put you on PUA. You have to find out why. They should be able to adjust your benefit amount back up though. Fran says, I haven't received my extension yet. I certified on Sunday, nothing yet. They still say pending. What's going on? It could be one of these issues about how you answered the questions. Definitely question number 3, did you look for work, is causing people to stay pending. Something else, and I had a lot of requests for videos and I wasn't able to look into exactly how this works, but people who have reported that they're back in school, they also seem to be pending right now. So what's happening is the EDD is not like aware of how school and work these days and how people just live their lives in today's society. They don't understand like, oh, I can still work full-time and go to school online. They don't understand I can go to school and off hours and still work a full-time job. So accounts are getting flagged and put as pending for that. So that's just some of the things causing that. Frodo says, anyone else still show pending from 1226 all the way through 124? That's usually ID verification, which if you used ID.me can take anywhere from 2 days to 30 days and DocuSign's about 4 to 8 weeks. But if you didn't have a suspension of claim notice and weren't asked to do that, definitely call the EDD to find out why you've been pending for so long. Timothy says, is responding to someone. I called today. They fixed it on the phone. Call them. Diamond Pikachu says, I don't get anything. My bank balance is $90. I'm so sorry. Hopefully all of these issues clear up soon. I know a lot of people are in the same situation. Okay, so Magusna is saying that they were on PEUC, but it ends in December 26th. They had leftover balance from the CARES Act. I was part of phase 1 group but never got the update. There are still some people that are waiting on the updates that still have the update claim notice on their accounts, but definitely if you haven't been paid since then, give them a call and ask them what's going on. Efren says, mine's pending from last week. Help. So again, a week is longer really than it should be pending. So you're going to need to call them to find out specific to your claim why it's pending. Mark says, my status has been pending on 4 weeks of payments, just called and got through. They will be releasing my funds tomorrow. Mark, that is awesome news. I'm really curious, and I'm sure everybody in chat is really curious. why did they say your funds were pending for that long, and what did they do to release them? I'm really curious why it was pending and why they were able to fix that. Okay, Cami says, I called 2 times a week for a month. All they can tell me is the system will update. Come today is still the same, still waiting on 6 weeks. It really is a gamble of getting the right rep that can help you. Maybe specifically ask if you can be transferred to a tier 2 specialist, because usually they're a little bit more helpful. But again, that queue filled up today, and I believe I heard that it filled up yesterday as well. Marry Me said, I have California unemployment but moved to New Jersey, then got notification for ID verification on the 15th. A letter said I'm disqualified from certifying, but online I have 11 weeks left. Can you help? So disqualification, you have to call. Once it says that, you need to call. They could be claiming that they didn't get your ID documents in time. And unfortunately, a lot of times disqualifications mean that you need to appeal. But if you worked in 2019 in California, it shouldn't matter that you moved. And it may take some time to get things sorted out, but they should get it worked out so that you can start getting paid again. Jasmine, no, I'm getting fatter. Jasmine says it looks like I'm losing weight. I am not, but thank you. Maybe the paler lipstick is actually good on me. I went for a walk this morning, but I'm getting heavy here in quarantine. GS said, kept checking YouTube for Shelly's updates, feeling the good vibes now. If nothing else, I hope that's what I can provide for you guys, is a little bit of like calm, and that you guys know that you're not the only ones going through this. And you guys can vent your frustration in the comments of any of my videos if you want to, even if I'm not able to help. Just know that I want to, which I wish the EDD would say something like that. Okay, Johnny says, I did everything they wanted me to do to verify ID, and my money is still pending. Why is that? So even once it's verified through DocuSign, even once it's verified through ID.me, the EDD still has to process all of it and lift the suspension from your claim. And because they did this to everybody all at once, ID.me is overwhelmed. I've heard that there's delays from ID.me sending the documents onto the EDD. And then once the EDD gets them, there's still something that has to happen for them to lift the suspension off your claim. And unfortunately, that just takes time. Bo says, I got paid last time normally after getting the 11-week extension. This time I got paid 1 week and the second week is still pending. Anyone else having this same problem? There are lots of reports of people having that problem. This also happened a few weeks ago, and basically a lot of people just started having the second week switch to paid automatically without doing anything. If you're already on the 11-week extension, it shouldn't be that you're switching between programs or anything. It could just be that there's, and people were worried about this, that when we all kind of started switching to the same certification cycle, because a lot of us got reset on December 26th, that meant we all now have the same certification cycle, and that might overload the system a little bit. So if that doesn't resolve in a couple of days, that is when I would worry about that. Okay. Oh, Carlos again, thank you. You certified today, but why did it change to 167 a week? So I did try and answer that. You are going to need to call. It sounds like you were probably switched from regular unemployment to PUA. They should be able to get income verification from you and approve you at a higher amount. But there is some paperwork that you're going to need to send them. Okay. Andy says, are they still sending out stimulus checks? Andy, you ask this every week. Yes, they are, through February 1st. And Biden has done like an executive order to try and make sure that we get those faster. But at this point, it's only like a week until February 1st. So I don't know how much faster they're supposed to get them to us. I go on the IRS page and it says that it doesn't have enough information, or that I don't qualify, but I did receive the first one. So if it says that, if it doesn't say that your check was sent, you'll have to claim it as like a credit on your taxes when you file for 2020. Elvis says, guys, so the last week of December I had pending and wasn't able to certify the first 2 weeks of January. I finally got through with a call and they had to fix my EDD so I can certify. I'm glad that they were able to fix it. Okay, and Woo Roar says, I never had to verify my ID. Max benefits claim balance 0. Only got paid once for the first week of February. Like a year ago, plus 300. What do I do now? So are you pending or are you just not able to certify? With max benefits paid, that is normal. It should clear up on its own. You can call, but some of the reps are still saying to wait, and some of them are able to help you. So it's really and they're saying about 7 to 10 days to clear it up. So it's kind of a matter. The only issue on your claim is maximum benefits paid. It's kind of up to you if you want to give them another 7 to 10 business days, or if you want to call, try and get through and have them hopefully move that along faster for you. Maximum benefits paid is normal. It usually happens in between extensions. So it won't say maximum benefits paid until your claim balance hits 0. So that's actually good. I'm thinking maybe you mean January. So the options are kind of just to either wait or call. And even sometimes calling, they're just saying to continue waiting. Okay. Certified yesterday and it shows pending to paid from Elvis. Mine did too. Juan says, what happens after PUA? So right now, PUA in California lasts up to a total of 57 weeks or April 10th, whichever is sooner. So some people will run out as early as the week ending March 13th. Some people have enough on their claim balance to carry them all the way through April 10th. Biden does have a stimulus plan that he's been talking about, but we don't know if it's going to pass yet. So I tend to think that things will pass, but I think we're going to be on the edge of our seats again, almost into the last minute while they try and determine that. Okay. Sirius says, I have maximum benefits paid. I'm on PEUC. What's going on? Someone knows we're getting paid. I'm about to sell chorizo. So it should switch you onto the second set of PEUC, and that should happen automatically. Joby says, my name's Joby. When I open my EDD account, it says maximum benefits paid. What do I do? So some people are reporting that they've had luck calling, whereas other people are saying that they need, they're being told even after they call to wait. That is something, it's normal. The part about it that wasn't normal is that a lot of people should have been able to certify yesterday. That normally goes away on its own. EDD seems to be indicating that if you wait, it'll take care of itself, but lots of people are reporting that if you call and get through, they'll do it for you. Again, I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. I see that there's about almost 500 of you, and if I could ask you guys to like the video, it would mean a lot to me. So thank you. Jennifer says, I was put on PUA 115. After my UI PEUC ended, I have been certifying back to 12-1 and verified my IT. All my weeks are still pending, though. I was put on PUA. Here's something else. People that were put on PUA, and this could be it. I can't believe I'm just now. There's so much going on. It's honestly hard to keep track of. So a lot of people that were switched to PUA are actually supposed to get switched back to PEUC. So that might be what's going on with your account. But if you've been pending, guys, if you've been pending for longer than 72 hours, that's when it's not normal. And you're not waiting on the suspension to be lifted from your claim. That's really when I would call. If you have a suspension, it could take a little bit longer. It can take all the way up to 30 days or 8 weeks if you did DocuSign. But as hard as it is to get through, for your peace of mind, there's people that are like, don't tell people to call because it's just going to jam up the lines. And it is going to jam up the lines. But if that helps you sleep better at night, so be it. You know what would help the lines not be jammed up is if the EDD gave us correct information. So you call away if that makes you feel better, you know? Okay, VettyVet says, hello from New York. Will unemployment benefits be a problem if I get severance pay in a lump sum? I don't think so. I'm gonna just say how it works here in California. I believe it works the same in New York. So things like severance pay, vacation pay, YouTube's now counted as royalties. So that kind of income, there's stuff called WARN pay. All of that kind of stuff goes under this, like here in California, the question is like, did you work or earn any other wages? And you hit no to that. And it still takes you to a screen that's like, did you earn any of these other things? And it just lists them. You will hit yes, that you received severance pay. You'll say how much you received, and that should not lower your benefit amount. If it does, it's only going to affect it for 1 week. It's not going to be like, oh, you got $10,000, so you're not going to get $10,000 worth of benefits. It's like your weekly benefit amount is normally $450. Worst case scenario, you wouldn't get your weekly benefit amount for just that 1 week. So I hope that answered your question. The Crispy Kev, also thank you for your donation, and thank you, Crispy Kev, for your donation. If you guys do have questions, I'm of course going to be on the lookout for your question, but make sure to try and type out as much of your question as you can in the donation box. So Crispy Kev, thank you. I will be on the lookout for your question. Oh. And same with you, Yuli Sky. If you have a question, please make sure that you get it in the little chat with your donation, but I'll be on the lookout for your donation. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. I certainly understand we're all unemployed, so it is not necessary, but it is appreciated. Okay. Monady says, silence is beautiful. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. You guys, I'm going to scroll down because I'm just now seeing the timestamps on these. I don't want to skip anybody, but I want to try and make sure that those of you that are in the chat right now, because I just realized I'm answering questions from before I had even popped in, which means I'm about 30 minutes behind on these questions. So I'm sorry for that. And I'm gonna scroll down to the ones that started at 6 when I popped in. So if I skipped you, it wasn't intentional. It's just that I'm worried you're not currently in the chat anymore because those questions are like an hour old at this point. Okay, so I'm finding the first comment from, I'm gonna go back to 5:53, so like 40 minutes behind. And I'm gonna answer Carrie Cook's saying, Janet maybe is just busy. I certified yesterday, I was paid last night. It hit my account today. You guys are helping each other out here, which is great. I love to see that. And Drez says, the ironic and funny thing is that I got an email from my UI account telling me I don't have to list jobs that I've applied for, but I do have to be ready for work. I have no weeks to certify. So hopefully they're in the mix of like revising the weeks that you have to be able to certify. And yeah, the work search requirement is supposed to be waived, but on the same hand, if you answer no to that question, it does seem to be flagging people's accounts. Thank you for the donation, Angie. I'm in Texas. I had 26 weeks unemployment. I'm on PEUC 13 weeks. Next is EB, I believe. What if EB goes past my year mark since I worked 7 weeks on 1099? Okay, so Angie, a lot going on with your claim. So actually, Texas should work the same way California does in terms of the progression of your claim. So next for you is actually going to be the 11 weeks of PEUC, which some people are calling PEUX or PEUCX or PEUCX, but it's that second set of the PEUC extension that will last 11 additional weeks. From there, and this is written in the new stimulus bill, so again, this will be applicable to whatever state you're in. Once your benefit year ends, they make you try and open a new claim. If you have enough to qualify for a whole new claim, that's actually better because you're going to get a whole fresh set of 26 weeks. And if your state still has a high unemployment level after that new set of 26 weeks, then you would get EB. So if you don't qualify, so at your 1 year mark, they're going to make you see if you qualify for a new claim. And if you don't, they would potentially put you on a PUA claim anyway. So that's how that should work there. I hope that answered your question, and thank you for the donation. Okay, I've got a new member. Oh no, this is El Solario, who is one of my original members. So thank you for renewing your membership. I love seeing those little icons. Okay, Woo Roar. I feel like these are popping up when I already answer them. I hope you guys aren't donating twice for the same question. If you are, thank you, but I'll do my best to get to your questions without the donations, even though I appreciate them. Okay, it says maximum benefits paid, zero balance. Last time I was paid was for the first week of January with the extra 300. Last certified January 16th with no payment was even made. So if you've been pending, it's now been more than 72 hours, unfortunately, you have to call them and ask why so that you can then take the next steps to clear that up. And the reasons are really varied. It can be how you answered your certification questions can cause you to stay pending. If you answered no to question 3. And you guys know that the other questions try and answer no as well. So it's no for all the questions on your certification except to 3. Answer yes. You guys, I love my employees. I really do. But one of my employees has access to my channel. He knows how to get a hold of me. He's been answering yes, which you don't want to do, to question 2, which is there any other reason other than being sick that you were unable to accept work? And week after week, he's been answering that question, yes. And then he just types in, because I'm still furloughed from my job and we're not allowed to be open by the city. And it's been fine up until this point, but that caused him to go pending. And now he's got to wait for a determination interview to clear that up. So as far as I know, when you're certifying, you want to answer no to all the questions except to question 3, which is, did you look for work? And that one you want to answer yes. Of course, you want to be truthful. But question 3, if you didn't look for work, you're supposed to be able to just skip where you list the places you looked. I'm just going to call you 909. Your name is a little risque. Thank you for the donation. For all the help. Oh, you're lucky to get your money and your extension after the verification. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that your claim is going well. Okay. And Yuli Sky, please don't donate twice, but thank you. But I think you guys are, I don't know if I'm seeing these at weird points. You guys know I'm not the best with technology. Says, I have an interview this week. I answered no for looking for jobs since I'm caregiving for my kids and I'm flagged no pay. So you guys so if you're watching your kids, potentially you could still find a job from at home. And I'm not in any way like saying like, oh, you should be working. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to get past these questions, you have to answer that question, or you don't have to, but if you don't answer that question as yes, that you're looking for work, it is flagging it now. So answer question 3, did you look for work, as yes when you're certifying. And then I really recommend, seeing if just make a habit of look at your dream job, look at something you're overqualified for. Say you applied to be the CEO of Sony Pictures, just apply, is my recommendation. Then that way for sure, they're not going to flag your account. And I'm so sorry that happened because it wasn't flagging it before. And of course, supposedly they told our reps this. It would have been nice if they would have said, hey guys, like, we're going to start flagging your accounts if you answer no to that question. too nice, apparently. Okay. Andres, did we do yours? Yes, we did. Carrie, I have had no luck. The issues you have had, and glad. I'm glad for you as well, Carrie. Spider-Man says live in 5. That was when I was coming live. I'm sorry, I'm so behind, you guys. There's like too many questions to answer because the EDD won't do their job and help us. Okay, Dario says, I'm on PEUC, still max benefits paid, and 0 left on balance. My claim went out when I called on the 13th and had them fix it to let me certify. Right after week 0 maxed out. So again, that's normal. What's not normal is that it seems like you should have been able to certify right now. And again, it seems like it's taking 7 to 10 days. I'm just now to where I see Jenny's comment, but now I lost it again. Okay. Angie says, so you can go through a whole year of 52 weeks of benefits and reapply again for more weeks. Yes, you can. However, sorry, I should have said this. I gotta find a way to give you your money back. I should have added this on. You absolutely can apply after a year. A lot of us are not going to have enough wage history to qualify. And that's why you would potentially then go to a PUA program. However, PUA is set to expire again, I guess the week ending 4/10, unless Biden's stimulus plan passes. So if you don't have enough earnings history, you're not going to qualify for a new claim. But there is still a path to PUA. Here in California, you have to be very clear that you tell them that the reason why you're still unemployed is because of a COVID-19 related reason. But yes, if you don't qualify for a new claim, as long as Biden's stimulus plan passes, they're looking at extending benefits through September. If you don't qualify for a new claim and you go through all those extensions, that's when you would get PUA. I hope that made sense. And I think they know that a lot of people aren't going to qualify for a new claim. The reason why you have to do that is regular unemployment is funded by your state, whereas a lot of these federal programs are funded by the federal government. So they would rather have the states pay out of their budget than be contributing, I guess. So they want to try and get everybody back on a state claim as quickly as they can. That's my interpretation of that. Okay. Jay says, I'm on PEUC now as 0 balance. Thank you for the donations. Thank you, Jay, for the donation. I'm on PEUC now as $0 balance. Date days for 20/20 on extension. When will we get the extension? The rep says before the end of the month. The last payment was on 1/9. So the rep should be right. Seeing your claim go to 0, that is what is supposed to happen. What's supposed to happen after you used up that first PEUC extension is you're supposed to see your claim balance hit 0, and they're supposed to add the 11 weeks at that time. And you're supposed to see the maximum benefits paid message for a while. But what normally happens is you normally would have been able to certify this last Sunday. And again, this happened to me 2 weeks ago. I wasn't able to certify Sunday, but by Monday it had cleared up. But it's not clearing up for some people even today. So you can call a rep, but a lot of the reps are telling people that they still have to wait. And then a lot of the reps are telling people, oh, we fixed your claim, but it's still not going to update for 7 to 10 days. And yes, what you're saying is consistent with what I've heard, which is either by January 31st, it's going to clear up, or February 3rd at the latest. They're jerks. Okay. Oops. My computer's stuck again. You guys, if you're familiar with my lives, you know that when I get stuck on my computer, when I drink water, that's when it's time to like the video. Sorry guys, oh, there we go. I'm going to skip some because I'm so far behind. Hopefully, as I'm answering other people's questions, it's making sense for your claim as well. I am going to try and keep this for an hour today. Francis says, I'm on PUA and still nothing, just maximum paid notice. Are you part of phase 2, Francis? Did your claim hit a $0 balance before December 26th? If that's the case, that might be why they haven't updated your claim yet, because they haven't given us a time frame when they're going to update those. Carrie said, oh, there we got that one. Carrie's helping people. Thank you, Carrie. Jaslyn. It's not Jacqueline. I know that. You told me that last time. Oh, yep, she's happy. Andrea said, okay, we got that one. Oh, okay, we're down here. Jenny's reminding everybody to hit the like button when she stopped by. Oh. You guys, I really do like Jenny. And if our channels help you, there's no hard feelings. Watch her videos. Watch her videos after you do the live here. We're women supporting other women in business. And like sometimes when the EDD does something like crazy and that frustrates me, I just send her like the face palm emoji. Like, it's crazy. Okay. Uh-oh. Caesar says, I talked with EDD yesterday. She said my balance is 0, so I won't be getting an extension. I thought it was for everyone. I'm on PUA. You know, there are reps that are telling people that. Like Caesar is not the first one that has said that, but the comment below is correct. That's not true. They just haven't loaded you up with 11 additional weeks yet, and they should be soon. Frankie says, did both verifications. They're still telling me to send more documents through the mail, and you're not able to certify. I'm so sorry about that, but if that's what they're asking for, you're going to have to just do that. Okay. Andrew says, the rep said that if you manually certified with a rep, that it could cause delays for your remaining weeks. Hopefully not. That's the other thing, is that sometimes back when the ID verification was first starting to crop up, people were calling the EDD and asking for the link, but the EDD wasn't sending the link, which is faster. They were sending the DocuSign button that you had to click, which is different. And that actually potentially caused more delays. So yes, that's unfortunate, but sometimes that happens as well. Oh dear. Thank you for the donations. Sunny says, I changed my address 2 weeks ago. I verified on EDD, but I got a mail last Saturday, 123, saying I need to verify my ID before 125. I called to extend by 10 days period, but I got no rep. Please advise. Okay, Sunny, you're not going to like this, but this is my recommendation. My feeling is that if you just did your ID verification on that the letter crossed in the mail. Like a lot of times the letters come after everything is already taken care of. My gut level feeling, but please, please, please keep calling until you get a rep on this, because I don't want to be wrong. My gut level feeling is that information just crossed in the mail. So I would call the EDD and I would say, hey, I think I verified my ID, but I still got this notice. Is that accurate? Also, did they send you any kind of new link? I feel like that letter crossed in the mail, but you got to keep trying with them to make sure, because I don't want to tell you something that's going to cause you to have your payments delayed even further. You know what I mean? I hope that made sense. And I'm sorry, because that's probably not the answer that you wanted to hear. People are having good luck getting through to EDD at all different times. You can also send them a message on UI Online, contact us. You can send a message to Ask EDD, and the times that are maybe a little better than others seem to be 11 a.m., 1 o'clock when they're getting back from lunch, and 4 to 6. There was talk about the EDD hours being changed. I think that they actually are still open till 8. I think that they just closed the phone lines down at 7 because they know people are going to be waiting too long. Okay, so maybe try calling now, Sunny, now. I don't mind if you leave this chat. Go leave this chat. Try and get through to the EDD now. Call them while you're on the chat. Okay, Kevin. Dumb question, but how do I know if I'm on PUA? I had unemployment since April of last year when it was an additional 600. I still have the reopen button. A lot of people still have the reopen button. So what you want to do to find out if you're on PUA claim, and PUA is traditionally for people who are on self-employment or didn't have enough W-2 wages from a traditional employer to qualify. So like gig workers, if you drove Uber for all of 2019, you're probably PUA. If you went to work and you clocked in every day and you got a W-2 and you did your taxes, you're probably a regular unemployment claim. But the way to tell for sure, is you want to go into your claim history, and then it's going to show you a bunch of different claims, and like then hit transactions. It's a blue link off to the right. From there, click that. And then over on the left-hand side, it's going to show you payment type. So go or just click through those buttons until you get to payment type, and that will tell you which program you're on. It'll even tell you which extension you're on. And the second 11 weeks of PEUC are worded a little bit weird. So that's a possibility there. Okay. This is so weird. It won't go away. Okay. Sunny, call the EDD right now. Okay. Okay. So, gotta find my place. Oh, Andy watched Jenny's video before coming into the live. I don't know what it's about. I'm going to watch it as soon as we're done here. Okay. Oops. Okay, the chat's gone crazy, so I'm going to scroll. You guys, I'm so sorry. It just skipped like a ton of questions, and now I'm at a question from 6:50 p.m. is where I'm at on this. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry if I skipped your question. It's not letting me scroll back all the way. Okay, it's letting me go back to Robert Nixon's question at 6:49. I got the email on my 11-week extension as filed, but my claim is 0. Do you know how many days until I can finally stop waiting? So getting that message is good. If I had to guess, I would say it would happen faster than 7 to 10 days, but the reps are telling people 7 to 10 days. So shouldn't be much longer than that. But the fact that you got that is a really good sign. NBA says, I got inbox saying, what is my computer doing? Saying I got 11 weeks extended and balance went up to 2,500, but my claim is still at 0 today. I got the inbox. So that's kind of the same question that Robert had. So it should just be in the process of putting that balance into your claim and letting you certify. And again, maximum 7 to 10 days. Okay, Gilda says, I've tried reaching out through message, but they have yet to respond. Yeah, so then try calling. I hate to say that. I mean, just try all of the ways. Try Ask EDD, the Contact Us, and both numbers. We did NBAs. Mr. Dudoreel says, I got my last payment from being on regular UI. It shows maximum benefits paid. So that's normal and it's good. And hopefully you'll be able to certify again in 2 weeks. You guys, it's going to say maximum benefits paid when you use your first set of 26 weeks of benefits. It's going to say if you're still using down part of your original 13 weeks of PEUC, it's going to say maximum benefits paid when you get to 0 on that. It said maximum benefits paid for all of us earlier this year if you were on PUA or the PEUC extension, because the computers didn't know that Donald Trump had gone ahead and signed the next stimulus bill. It will also say if we get to the point where we've used those 11 weeks of PEUC, we're going to see that again, maximum benefits paid, and the claim balance go down to 0 before they check to see if we're eligible for Fed Ed. So seeing that is really normal. And usually a good sign. The problem right now is that normally you can certify like usual 2 weeks from when you get that message, but it's taking longer this time. Okay. Thank you, Ishi, for the donation. I got paid week ending 117 and 124, but still pending week ending 1220, 1227, 13, and 10. Anyone on the same situation? I'm on Fed Ed. Thanks. That one is a really interesting one, and I'm not sure why that happened. And you were able to certify for those weeks. You got paid these weeks. So what I think, I am not sure, and you're going to have to call. There's several different things it could be. For some people, because No, I don't know, and I don't want to steer you wrong. So I'm just going to be honest about that. You're going to have to call. I have some hunches, but if I'm wrong on my hunches, you're still going to have to call. So call them to find out what's going on. No, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, especially because you gave me a donation. I tell you what, I will do my hardest to find out what's wrong with that. And if I find out, I'll leave you like a comment on this video and I'll pin it, but no guarantees that I'll be able to find out for sure what happened there. Okay. Amid says, Spark is beauty. You probably will qualify for Fed Ed instead, like me, with the extra 300. My last week was also 117. So guys, the progression is regular unemployment, then hit 0 on your first PEUC extension. Then if you're not already on Fed Ed, then you're going to get the 11 weeks of PEUC added to your claim. Then after you use those 11 weeks, then you're going to go to Fed Ed. But there's more programs, which I think is the gist of that comment. Liz says, I was able to certify today, right now for 3 weeks. I was at 0 balance and with maximum benefits paid. Do you think they will pay me or do you think it will stay pending? I think as long as there's no issues on your other account and that earlier weeks weren't pending, that should switch to paid, I would guess, either by 10 p.m. tonight or by 10 a.m. tomorrow. That should switch from pending to paid. And again, 72 hours maximum is about the time frame that it's normal for it to stay pending. If it goes beyond that, there's usually something else going on with your claim. Thank you, Grace, for the donation. This says, hi, I was on regular UI. I hit 0 on 1-3. My account has maximum paid balance. Now my portal says if I don't have a PUA, I need to file one. It shouldn't say that. It should say it should be the opposite. It should say that if you have PUA, not to do that. So the maximum benefits paid message, though, should be normal and it should clear up on its own. You can call them, but no, you can't even file a new claim. If you just hit 0 on like your first part of unemployment, this is, again, this next statement's not for people on PUA unemployment. You can't even open a new claim until your benefit year is over. So depending on when you first applied for unemployment, you can't do that till 1 whole year later. Now, PUA was a whole different situation because initially everyone on PUA, their benefit year ended 12/31. So it's different for them. The claim year doesn't start. So, and you might be thinking of PEUC because usually people on regular unemployment don't go on to PUA. The only way that it shouldn't be taken care of automatically is if your benefit year is ended, and then you would need to reapply. If your whole benefit year is over, you do need to reapply for benefits, but that's different than the reopen claim button. Okay, I hope that made sense. And AC saying, Liz, it will not be paid until your extension is applied. I'm in the same situation. I certified and now it says not paid since my claim balance is 0. It shouldn't say not paid. Not paid is a red flag. So I would call them and ask why it says not paid. That may be because of answering one of the certification questions. Even if you answered it the same, answering yes to question 2 has been flagging it. Answering no to question 3 has been flagging it. That's did you look for work? Not paid is usually not a good sign, and you want to call them to find out. Oh, Jerry Lynn, thank you for the donation. I'm gonna look to see if you have a question that I missed because I really appreciate the donation. I always feel like when people give me donations that they must have a question that they want me to answer. So if you leave it, I appreciate it. It does help me to find your question, but try and type the question in there. Okay. Shoot, I can't get the little thing to go away. Jerry Lynn. Okay, don't see. Sherilyn, if you have a question, I don't see it. I see Ken gave me some blue hearts. I'm scrolling back up now because I was trying to look for that question. I'm going to do Ken's because it stood out because the red hearts, but don't emoji bomb me because then I lose my place too. My regular UI ran out on 1/3, but I haven't heard anything and have maximum benefits paid. Is it normal to wait this long? No, it's not normal to wait this long, but it's happening to a lot of people. And they're saying that it's going to update in 7 to 10 days. A lot of the reps are saying to wait, but then a lot of the reps are saying that they did something to try and speed that up. Usually with maximum benefits paid, you're able to certify again in your 2-week time frame. This is another one of my employees. I guarantee because he's gotten a problem with his unemployment claim. We are hitting the hour mark. So I'm going to scan really quick. Jerry Lynn, if you have a question, please ask it because I would love to answer it. Otherwise, I am going to have to go. And I really appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video. Make sure when you're done watching this video to pop on over and watch Jenny Silver's video because she put one up right at the start of this chat. Okay, Margaret, I'm going to, what does 2-week status in A mean? So in A, that can also mean that they're in the process of switching you over to the next extension, but double check with them. So I'm saying that because I had one of my employees, they had 1 week paid and the second week was in A. Your second week is in A. Okay, this is totally your situation. Okay, so that probably means you were only paid for 1 week. That brought your claim balance down to 0. So that's why you were only able to certify for 1 week. The second week says NA because it was non-applicable because they didn't even let you certify for it because you didn't have enough in your claim balance to cover it. So you are very likely seeing the maximum benefits paid message. If you don't see it, you probably will because certifying for just that 1 week brought your claim balance all the way down to 0, which has to happen before they load you up with the next extension. I hope that makes sense. And thank you for the donation. That was a great question. Okay. I'm going to skip around since we're at the end. White Knight says, hello, explain me, please. I have a claim balance of $5,374, benefit year till 4/10, but don't have any certification buttons, no reopen claim buttons as well. Thank you. So that should be one of the things that's automatically updating. But if you call the reps, they should be able to put those weeks available for you to certify. So unfortunately, guys, a lot of these options are to either wait or to call. But even if you call, sometimes they still tell you to wait. So it's kind of, it's really up to you what you guys want. Skipping around still here. Toxic Bit says, when do we get to certify? Are we going to get back paid? Yes. Once you're able to certify and once all these issues clear, yes, they will pay you for whatever weeks you missed. Yes, they will. Okay. And Diego's just asking if anybody saw the snow. It's really cold, you guys. So Christian, I think we just went through your question as well. That was somebody else's. If you have 1 week that was paid and the second week says, it should say NA. It shouldn't necessarily say not paid. Not paid is usually not a good sign. So if you have not paid, I do recommend calling the EDD. If it says NA, that's normal while your claim balance goes down to 0, then you're going to see the maximum benefits paid message. And hopefully if the EDD gets their act together, you'll be able to certify like normal. Okay, Nilsson's question is going to be the last. Hey, I got paid for 26 weeks, but they let me certify 2 extra weeks, but my balance was 0 and the status is not paid. Is that normal? Okay, so Nielsen, yes, and that's interesting. So not paid is generally not good. However, it is normal, and this actually happened to me on my PEUC claim, and actually probably my regular unemployment claim. You probably worked a couple of weeks, but with reduced earnings. So maybe you got furloughed, but then your boss called you back to do some filing or some paperwork, or maybe you got furloughed and you did a side hustle that you had to report some earnings from, which which lowered your benefit amount for a couple of weeks, which then actually does extend your claim beyond the 26 weeks. So if due to work and not receiving your full weekly benefit amount, that can make it so that you receive more weeks of unemployment benefits. However, so the balance, was your balance at 0 before they let you certify for the next 2 weeks? Are you able to answer me that in the comments real quick? Or did it go to 0 after you certify for those 2 weeks? Because normally they make your claim balance go to 0 before they put you on to the next extension. So that part's normal. The part that makes me feel a little uneasy is that usually seeing not paid is not a good sign. Oh, Carlos, you're saying help. So I'm going to try and Carlos, please help. Carlos, instead of saying help, can you please ask oh, is it normal to get the same robot that says call back later? Yes. And there's new messages now. They've given us a little bit of variety. Sometimes it says your call cannot be completed at this time, like after you've already gotten through. And then other times it's still saying that the system is too busy for you to wait. So yes, the robot's normal. It's very hard to get through to the EDD right now. Okay. All right, guys, I really gotta go. I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to do these every night almost until we get all this sorted out. Yes, okay. All right, aloha state of mind. I'm going to do yours and then really, I got to go. Okay, you have received all benefits payable to you at this time. You cannot file another unemployment until your current benefit year ends. What to do? So that should be updating automatically because your claim year hasn't ended. So you just have to wait until they update your claim, or you can call and then they can possibly get things moving a little bit faster. Oh yeah, everybody, if you could please like the video. I appreciate all of you stopping in tonight, and go watch Jenny Silver's latest video. It probably answers a lot of the questions that you have. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.